Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another Sunday morning yoga with Leah. And as always, I'm just so excited to be here with you all. Thank you for continuing to join in each week from your home. To start off, go ahead and find your way to your yoga spot for the morning. As you all know by now, you'll need a comfortable chair to sit in. Ideally, something where your feet can firmly reach the ground. You can get a little bit of pressure between the ground and your feet. And you can always use a little footstool or a book or something to elevate the ground to you as well. I myself am very much on the petite side, so that really works for me. And for some of you other folks, that might be the perfect solution as well. Make sure you have plenty of space to move around. You're kind of free from distractions. And go ahead and find your way to your seat. Start to shift your mind to your practice. Really just starting to arrive here. Come farther forward on your seat so there's plenty of space between your spine and the back of the chair. And take your feet down comfortably right underneath your knees, about hip distance apart. Press your feet gently into the ground, feel your legs, get a little activated, and sit up taller. You can use your hands on your legs for support if you like, or maybe rest your hands comfortably in your lap or by your sides. You can keep your eyes open, or you might close your eyes to help send your focus inward. To begin, start to notice your breath. You might notice just as an observer at first, taking note of maybe what's the same or different today. Maybe there's a little tickle in your throat. Maybe your breath is slower or faster than usual. You might also start to shift. You might start to shift your breath to be a little deeper, encouraging it down into your low belly, filling up and expanding out as you breathe in. When you exhale, empty out completely, letting every last little bit of air go. Low belly draws in and up. After you start to notice your breath, noticing your body. I like to start from the ground up, feeling your feet, feeling the ground supporting you, traveling up your legs. You might acknowledge a spot of tension and move on without judgment. Coming into your hips, your seat, feeling your spine, standing up tall. Feel your shoulders drop and grow a little taller for the crown of your head. We'll go through many different movements in class today. And as always, you're welcome to participate at the level that works for you. Usually I'll give several options for something that might be more challenging for you or something that might modify and work best for you. And of course, you're always welcome to make your own choices as well. This neutral seated position, just noticing your body and noticing your breath, is available at any time. You can come back here to reset and catch back in with the movements as you're ready. Bring your shoulders up to your ears. Squeeze your shoulders together on your spine, and then let your shoulders relax down. Take arms down by your side and reach actively down for your fingertips. Press your feet into the ground and sit up a little taller, feeling activation in your body. Big full breath in. Open your mouth and exhale. Again, inhale fully. Exhale, releasing it. On your next inhale, arms go up overhead. Reach tall, extend for your fingertips, and press your feet down for support from the ground all the way up. One more inhale here. On your exhale, bring your arms to shoulder height. Turn palms down to the ground. Extend out through your fingertips, arms strong and engaged, and allow your shoulders to relax away from your ears and squeeze together on your spine. Take one more inhale. Exhale, arms down. Again, inhale up. Reach through fingertips. Make your arms even straighter and squeeze biceps in by ears. Press feet down, engage your abdomen. Take one more inhale. Exhale, arms to shoulder height, turn palms to face down. Extend it out through your fingertips, lift chest. Breathe in. Exhale, arms by sides. Once more, arms up overhead, big breath in. Squeeze biceps by ears, sitting up even taller. Reach through fingertips, inhale. Exhale, arms to shoulder height. Extend out through fingertips, lift chest. Big breath in. Exhale, arms release down. Take hands to knees and start to move through a few rounds of seated cat and cow. On your inhale, let your chest come forward, shoulders drop down and back, lean forward in your seat. And on your exhale, round your spine, lean back, let chin come to chest. Inhale, move forward, lifting chest, arching your spine. And exhale, round. Continue to move through at your own pace. And you might add in some other movements of your choice, maybe a little side to side, maybe you take more of a rolling motion. There's not really a right or wrong way to do it. If you find that one of these movements feels really good and you want to stay there a little longer, absolutely feel free. My pacing is just a suggestion. You might notice that you need a little more space between yourself and the back of your chair to allow for full range of motion. So respond to those moments when they come up, maybe shifting slightly in your seat, adjusting with each time through. Finish out your next round of cat and cow. And end at a tall, neutral spine. Ensure your feet are hip distance apart, just underneath your knees, so that you can press your feet down firmly into the ground. As you press your feet down, it should feel like your seat is sliding backwards in the chair. Sit up taller, shoulders in line over hips, lift chest. Full breath in. Exhale, arms by sides. Inhale, arms up. And exhale the cactus arms. Squeeze shoulders together. Hands move back in line over elbows. You can make this more passive, just creating this cactus shape with your arms, or the more you squeeze your shoulders together, the more lift in your chest, the more you'll feel this opening. Take one more breath in here. And exhale, arms release down by sides. Bring palms together at heart center. Interlace your fingers to the webbing. Flip your palms away from you, and then press your hands forward until arms are straight or almost straight. Inhale, begin to lift your hands. You might only lift part way up, or continue to lift. Let shoulders relax down your spine and press up through heels of hands. Squeeze biceps in by ears. Take one more breath in, and exhale to cactus arms. Squeeze shoulders in. Move hands back in line over elbows and send your chest forward. One more inhale. Exhale, arms down by sides. One more time, palms together. Interlace fingers to the webbing. Flip your hands away from you and press your arms towards straight. From here, begin to lift your wrists up overhead. You might only lift up part way, or you might send your palms skyward, squeeze biceps in by ears, and press up through heels of hands. Press feet down, one more inhale. Exhale the cactus arms. This time, just take a little twist side to side. Try to initiate the twist from your waist rather than from your arm and shoulder. Nice. Come back to neutral, inhale, and release, arms down. Hands on legs, inhale, sit up tall. On your exhale, lean slightly forward. This is our first forward fold, so you might pause around here, or you might start to walk your hands down your legs and lean a little further. Continue to press your feet down. This will make your legs strong and active and lend to a safer and more complete stretch. On your inhale, slowly roll upright. Shoulders stack over hips, tall spine. Full breath in. Open your mouth. Exhale. One more time, full inhale. Exhale, hinge from the hip crease. Lean forward into your forward fold. Again, pausing here, or perhaps walking hands down your legs, exploring a little more range of motion. If your hands can reach down to your lower legs or even to the ground, press your hands down. Press your feet down. More activation through the backside of your body. On an inhale, roll all the way upright. Shoulders stack over hips, tall spine. Exhale, releasing out. Ensure your feet are hip distance apart, just underneath your knees. Press your feet down, make both legs strong. And then extend your right leg straight out in front of you. Flex and point your foot a few times. Roll your ankle. And then squeeze your knee up to your chest. Hands come to your shin. And squeeze in, sit up tall. Knee to chest, chest to knee. From here, roll your ankle a few more times. Maybe flex and point your foot. Feel what's different. And then release that leg back down. Press both feet to the ground. And left leg extends. Flex and point your foot a few times. Maybe roll your ankle and try to go both directions. I know I certainly have one direction that feels easy. The other feels really hard. Squeeze knee to chest, hands around your shin, and press your chest forward to your knee as well. There's a tendency to lean back here, so lean forward instead. Roll your ankle out a few more times. Feel what's the same or different. And then release your leg back down to the ground. Sit up tall, shoulders over hips. Try to keep that vertical stack in your spine. Right leg extends forward. Flex and point your foot. Squeeze your knee into your chest. You can stay here, squeezing in, or cross your ankle over your knee. Flex your right foot, make your ankle strong. And you're welcome to support your knee with one or both hands, or start to let gravity do its thing. Just gently letting that knee drop away from you. Continue to flex your right foot. Continue to press your left foot down to the ground. Sit up tall, inhale. Exhale, releasing out. Knee hugs to chest, reverse. Roll your ankle out as you release your foot back to the ground. Sit up tall, shoulders over hips. Did you feel that slight lean back? And press both feet down, strong legs. Then left leg extends. Flex and point your foot. Hands around shin, squeeze knee to chest, press chest to knee. Stay right here, or ankle over knee, make your figure four shape. Flex your foot, make ankle strong, and you can support your knee with one or both hands, or start to let your knee drop away from you. Don't press your knee, just let gravity take over here. You should feel this opening in the outside of your left hip predominantly. Take an inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, release your air. Knee to chest, reversing. Roll your ankle out on the way back down to the ground. Again, did you feel that slight lean back? Every time, just recorrecting, shoulders over hips. Right leg extends. Draw knee to chest, squeeze in. Stay here or ankle over knee. You can, of course, support your knee or let gravity draw your knee down to parallel. This time, stay upright, or if you'd like, hinge from the hip crease. Bring shoulders in line over your knee and ankle. It doesn't take a lot of lean forward here to really start to increase the stretch in your right hip. If you feel pain in your knee, back off and maybe let your knee come a little higher with support. Draw knee to chest, squeeze it, and release back down to the ground. Sit up tall, shoulders over hips, press both feet down, left leg extends. Squeeze knee to chest, and cross ankle over knee, or stay right here. You can continue to support your leg or take your hands away and let gravity draw your knee down. If you'd like, hinge from the hip crease, shoulders come in line right over your knee and ankle. Continue to press down for your right foot. It's providing a lot of support here in this pose and will actually help with the stretch in your left hip as well. Again, if you feel knee pain, back off and maybe support underneath. Draw knee up to chest, inhale. And on your exhale, release your foot back down to the ground. Forward fold, shoulders over hips, tall spine as you breathe in. Hinge from the hip crease, lean forward. Maybe a little more range of motion. Maybe this is the time that you start to walk your hands down your shins. Maybe you reach all the way to the ground. Again, if you can reach the ground, press the ground away with your hands, press the ground away with your feet, feeling activation through your legs and your spine. If you'd like, tuck forehead towards shins. On your inhale, roll all the way upright. Shoulders stack over hips. Exhale, releasing out. Take your right foot and extend it a few inches forward, about heel in line with toes, and flex your foot. Draw your toes way back towards you. Then take your right hand and extend, reaching forward towards those toes. It doesn't matter if you can reach your toes or not. If you would like, you can take a little belt or a towel around your foot and hold onto the towel instead if you really like that pressure between your foot and hand. You can also just continue to reach in that direction and anchor your heel down to the mat. Notice if your right shoulder comes really far forward and try to face directly forward so both shoulders are even. Bring shoulders back in line over hips. Replace your right foot underneath your knee. Left leg extends forward a few inches, about heel in line with your toes of your opposite foot. Flex your toes up towards you and anchor heel to the mat. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, reach with your left hand, hinging from the hip crease forward. And again, you don't actually have to touch your toes, but if you'd like that little bit of pressure between your foot and hand, but you can't quite reach, a towel, a strap, a blanket can work really, really well to create that pull. Anchor through your heel, feel the back of your leg strong. Hinge upright. Left foot replaces underneath your knee. Take both feet in just a little closer to you, and then lift up to your tippy toes. Heels lift really high. If it felt hard to lift your heels, take your feet even closer. Press down through your toes. Press down through the balls of your feet, and see if you can lift your heels even higher for one more breath in. Exhale, release feet down. One more time, inhale, lift your heels. Press your toes down to the ground and feel the tops of your legs getting even stronger. Inhale. Exhale, heels release. Take your feet back to neutral, right underneath your knees. And again, your right leg extends forward ever so slightly. Heel in line with toes. Flex your right toes up. This time, right hand to hip, left hand twists across to reach towards your right toes. Again, you don't have to reach your toes, but if you would like to, a towel or a blanket can be super helpful here. If you'd like, take your right arm straight out to the side for a little bit of an extra challenge. Inhale, come upright. And replace your right foot underneath your knee. Left heel extends forward, flex toes back towards you. Left hand to hip, and this time your right hand, little twist across for your toes. If you'd like a little more challenge here, take your left arm and extend directly out to the side. Press both feet down, so using your right leg as well as your left. It's going to help build a stronger base of support. On an inhale, come upright. On your exhale, replace your left foot. Both feet in a little closer. And once more, lifting your heels high. Press your toes down, press the balls of your feet down. Press down so much that your seat wants to slide back in your chair. Sit up tall, shoulders over hips, inhale. Exhale, heels release. Bring feet back to neutral. And then heel toe your feet out as wide as is comfortable for you on the chair. End with your toes pointing out to the 45 and shins vertical. So ankles underneath knees. Take a full breath in here. And on your exhale, keep your torso the same. Just press your feet down really hard. Nice. Keep that. Inhale, grow taller. And you can stay or hinge forward. Keep pressing feet down, hinging forward little by little. Hands can come onto your thighs for support. Come upright Take hands neutral to your legs and just little dip in with each shoulder. Slight twist for the spine. Finish out one more twist to right and left. And one more little fold here. Feet pressed down, tall spine, inhale. Exhale, hinge slightly forward. This is a modified version of goddess pose, and it does not take a lot of hinge forward to really feel your legs working hard. Focus on pressing your heels, your balls of your feet, and your toes all down evenly into the ground. Hinge back upright on an inhale. With your exhale, walk your feet back in towards each other. We're going to take a few rounds of power pose, and there's several ways that you can practice this posture. I'm going to turn my chair to the side to help with the visual here. And we'll start with our first option. For first option, you'll stay seated. Bring your feet about hip distance apart, just as we have been for most of class. And you want your knees right in line over your ankles. Sit up tall, shoulders over hips, and make sure that your core and spine are active, growing taller and taller up through the crown of your head. Bring palms together at heart center for round one. All we're going to do this first time is press your feet down as much as you can. Continue to press your feet down. Continue to press your feet down. And continue to press your feet down. Feel your legs getting stronger and stronger. One more breath in. Exhale, release, relax. So option one, that's it. Continue to press your feet down. We'll do several more rounds here, and you're welcome to continue practicing that first option. Option two, take your feet just slightly closer to you. Slightly closer to you. Take your shoulders and lean ever so slightly forward. Start with palms together at heart center, or you can take your arms up overhead. Press your feet down and imagine that you're going to stand up out of this chair. If you'd like, you might bring enough weight into your feet to float your seat off the chair, even if it's just for a moment. One more inhale. On your exhale, release, relax. Third option for power pose. In this option, you're going to begin standing. You can, of course, continue to practice option one or option two as it works for you. In this third option for a modified power pose, we are going to sit down in the chair as slowly as possible. So press your feet down, make your legs strong. You can bring palms to heart center or extend your arms overhead. Take a full breath in, and on your exhale, begin to sit back. Keep knees in line over feet, keep spine strong, and move as slowly as possible. Slowly finding your way, just barely touching the seat, and then standing right back up. Inhale all the way upright. Exhale. Take a moment, relax. 2 more rounds, choosing your option, 1, 2, or 3. Arms go up or palms stay at heart center. If you're standing up with your exhale, begin to sit back, moving as slowly as you can, especially once you get down close to the seat. Maybe touching down for a moment and then reverse, stand right back up nice and slow. Inhale, exhale, palms to heart center. Last round, you can keep palms at heart center or reach up. Inhale, exhale, beginning to sit back. Legs strong, core strong. Maybe your seat touches down. Inhale, stand right back up. Exhale. Release, relax. And if you're standing, go ahead and find your seat once more. Feet hip distance apart, our same comfortable stance. Sit up nice and tall. Take your right hand and cross it over to your left thigh. You can take your left hand to your hip or the chair beside you. Then take your left shoulder, bring it all the way up to your ear. Squeeze it onto your spine and relax into a twist to the left. Press both feet down, and you might notice that your right knee immediately comes inwards. Keep your knee in line over your ankle and press your feet down so your legs will support you all the way from the ground up. Lift chest. With an exhale, untwist. Come back to neutral. Left hand crosses over for your right thigh. Take your right hand to your hip or to the chair beside you, and then bring your right shoulder up to your ear, squeeze onto your spine and drop down, opening into your twist. Again, notice that your left knee probably immediately wanted to change its position. Make both legs strong, press the floor away from you, and lift your chest. Take one more full inhale, and on your exhale, untwist. Once more to the left, right hand goes across for your left thigh, left shoulder up, back, and down, opening up into your twist. Big breath in. Stay here as you exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, untwist. Left hand crosses to your right thigh, right shoulder up, back, and down, opening into the twist. Press down through both feet, inner and outer edges, heels and toes, and lift your chest. Inhale, stay as you exhale. One more breath in. Exhale, untwist. Forward fold, take a big breath in. Exhale, hinge from the hip crease, lean forward. Maybe starting to walk your hands down your legs. Maybe getting a little more range of motion this time now that we're feeling more warmed up. Again, if your hands can come to your lower legs or the floor, press your hands down and away from you. Everybody press your feet down and away from you. Feel your legs and your spine activating here. Roll all the way upright. Take a full breath in. Exhale out. Walk your feet in a little closer together for eagle pose. So you can bring your legs all the way in or almost all the way in. And then take your right leg, cross it up and over your left. To begin with, you might find your shin is very high, and you want to work to squeeze your shins in together as much as is possible for you. This won't look the same for any two people, so go with what feels good in your body, what feels like squeezing into the midline. Stay with just the legs, or to add the arms, right elbow crosses underneath left. Give yourself a big hug. You can stay here, you can bring backs of hands or palms together. Press your left foot down into the ground, sit up taller, bring shoulders in line over hips. Take one more big breath in. On your exhale, unwrap arms, unwrap legs. Left leg goes up and over your right for eagle pose. And again, to begin with, your shin might be high. You want to, over time, squeeze in together. It might not look exactly the same as mine if you live with your spouse or if you're practicing with a friend. It might not look the same as theirs either. That's okay. Stack shoulders over hips, and if you'd like to add the arms, left elbow crosses underneath your right. Give yourself a big hug. You can stay here or take backs of hands or palms together. Lift your chest, sit up tall. Press your right foot down and keep squeezing your legs in together. Take one more big inhale. And on your exhale, unwrap your arms, unwrap your legs. Heel toe your feet out wide. Press your feet down to the ground, strong legs. Inhale. Exhale, hinge slightly forward. Press down through your feet, shoulders in line over hips, and walk your legs back in together. We're going to combine those two movements together. So start with your feet and legs all the way together or close to all the way together. Right leg up and over your left. Squeeze shins in. If you'd like to add the arms, right elbow is under. You can give yourself a hug, take backs of hands or palms together. Lift your chest. Okay, keep your arms however they are. Unwrap your right leg and take your leg, open it up wide. Nice. Find your stance, adjust slightly, press your feet down, inhale. Exhale, hinge slightly forward. Notice without the support of your arms on your legs that you might have to work a little harder in your lower body to feel supported. Bring shoulders back in line over hips on an inhale. Unwrap your arms with your exhale. Take your right leg. You can use your hand to help you lift and close off that space. And then reset in the middle. Left leg up and over your right for eagle pose. Squeeze shins, ankles, knees, everything in towards the midline. Sit up tall. Left elbow under right. Take opposite shoulders or backs of hands or palms together. Lift your chest. Keep your arms as they are. Unwrap your left leg and open up wide. Nice. Adjust your feet if needed. Press your feet down. With an exhale, hinge slightly forward from the hip crease. Again, notice how much harder your legs work without the support of your arms. Shoulders in line over hips on an inhale. Release your arms on an exhale. You might use your hand to help you lift and close your left leg. Reset in the middle, sitting up tall, shoulders over hips. We're going to move to a few standing and balancing postures. I will give some options for how to participate from the chair if that's your preference as well. And I think that most of you are actually really good at knowing what those modifications are for you now. We're going to go ahead and begin with a standing hip flexor stretch. This is a version of low lunge that can be done without getting onto the ground. As many of you have an active yoga practice, if you'd like to practice a traditional low lunge on the ground, please go for it. Otherwise, go ahead and stand up. You're going to come around to the left side of your chair and hold on with your right hand, turn to face towards the chair itself. Nice. Now what you're going to do, take your left foot and step it so it's just in front of the center of your chair. Take your right knee and bring it up onto the chair. Now, depending on how tall you are and the height of your chair, there might be a little bit of adjusting here. If you feel pain in your knee, something underneath your knee on the chair, like a folded up blanket or towel, can really, really be helpful. What you're going to do from here is gently walk your left foot forward, tuck your tailbone. So imagine your tailbone coming down and forward. And just that is going to start to create the stretch in the front of your back leg. You think, Leah, I want to feel a little more stretch than that. Bend your front knee and press your hips gently forward. Use your right hand on the chair for support, or you can reach both arms up. Continue to tuck your tailbone forward. The tuck of the tailbone here is going to be what creates the stretch more than anything else. Remember that your pose might not look exactly the same as mine. That is A-okay. We all have different bodies. If you're reaching up, release your hands back down. Use the chair to support you as you step your right foot all the way off and through. And then turn around so you're facing towards your chair again. Left hand comes to the back of your chair. Step your right foot forward, and this time you'll have a better basis for how far forward to start your foot. So it might be in the midline of the chair, or you might have found from the last side that you wanted your foot a little farther forward. Make those adjustments, and left knee comes to the chair. Tuck your tailbone forward. So your tailbone here, rather than letting it shoot out, you want to tuck your tailbone forward, feeling the stretch in the front of your back leg. If you desire more stretch here, you might inch your right foot forward. You might take a little bend in your knee and press your hips down and forward towards the ground. Again, your pose might look slightly different than mine. That's totally fine. You want to adjust this stretch to work for you. Maybe hand stays on the chair or your front leg for support. Maybe arms reach up. Take a full breath in. On your exhale, arms come back down. Use the chair to support you as you step your leg off and through. Turn and face back towards your chair once more. And we'll do once more on each side. So left foot steps forward, right knee up and onto the chair. Adjust your stance as needed, and then tuck your tailbone. Press hips forward, maybe adding a slight bend to your left knee. This time, notice that your hips might be turning you towards the back of your chair. You want to try to get both hips to point forward, both shoulders to point forward, really creating this long line through the front of your body. Maybe arms up on an inhale. And on your exhale, release arms down, step your right foot off and through. Turn last side, last time. Left hand to your chair, right foot steps forward, left knee onto the pad of your chair. Adjust your stance as needed, tuck your tail, and if you'd like, add that little bend in your front knee to send your hips forward. And again, on this side, notice that your left hip might be drawing you open, turning to face toward the back of your chair. You want to face directly to the side, so spin that left hip forward, big long line all the way through the front of your body. If you'd like, arms up on an inhale. Exhale, release down. Step out and through, and pedal your feet out several times. Come around to stand behind your chair, and I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see a little better. Take your feet out nice and wide, about as wide as you can comfortably stand without your feet sliding away from you. Turn your toes to point directly towards your chair or even slightly in towards each other. Take a little bend in your knees and then press your hips back, lean your chest down towards your chair. You want to press your hips back as much as you can rather than leaning forward like so. Think hips back, little bend in the knees, chest towards chair. If you'd like more fold here, be careful with your head, but you can start to walk your hands down the chair. Depending on your chair, you might have several steps that you can stop at along the way, or you might bring your hands all the way to the ground. Continue to press down through your feet, so actively pressing into the ground rather than just standing on it. On an inhale, come upright, press your hips forward, stand up nice and tall. Exhale, release out. Heel toe your feet back in together and line up your feet underneath your hips. We're going to form a really strong stance here. Feet hip distance apart, toes point forward, and just take a slight bend in your knees. Yeah. Imagine squeezing a beach ball between your legs. So have a little bit of squeeze into the midline. And then draw your belly button back to your spine. Feel your core getting stronger. Bring your shoulders up to your ears. Squeeze your shoulders together. And then relax down your spine. Reach down actively through your fingertips. Lift chest. Grow taller through the crown of your head. Full breath in. Long breath out. One more time. Full breath in. Long breath out. You're welcome to use your hands on the chair for support, or you can keep your hands down by your sides. And all we're going to do here is just start to explore the range of your balance. So you might start by shifting side to side. And then a little more challenging, shift forward and back. Forward to the balls of your feet and back to your heels. Notice I'm not really lifting my feet in any direction. It's just exploring how far I can go with both my feet firmly planted. Once you've gone left to right, forward and back, maybe start to explore a little more. Doing different movements, making like a figure 8 or a circle. And if you've been using your hands to support on the chair, consider using maybe one hand or maybe just 2 fingers of each hand. Maybe just 1 finger of each hand. Maybe you try to just momentarily float those hands away. Finish out your next movement and come back to neutral. You want to stand just far enough behind your chair that you can just reach with your hands. Then take your left foot and slide straight back. Turn your left hip to face forward towards the chair. Just like in low lunge, you might find that your hips started to open to the side. From here, keep your tippy toe down and press your hips back, hinge from the hip crease, bringing your chest down to or towards the back of the chair. You're welcome to stay with your tippy toe down, or you might float your left foot, maybe just slightly up off the ground. You might bring your leg to parallel, warrior three. Extend forward through the crown of your head, back through your lifted leg, and squeeze your inner thighs together. You can continue to support with your hands. You might take one arm or both arms away. On an inhale, hinge upright and step your left foot down. Return to that neutral stance, feet hip distance apart, and take a few more moments to explore the range of your balance. Little lean forward, little lean back, side to side, and then find your neutral. Make sure you're far enough from your chair that just your fingertips just touch down, and then put the weight in your left foot, your right tippy toe slide back. You're welcome to stay here or start to hinge from the hip crease, press your hips back, bring your torso down to or towards the chair. From here, you can keep your tippy toe touching down, or maybe just float your foot barely off the ground, or bring your leg up to parallel. Warrior three. Tone inner thighs together. Extend forward through the crown of your head, back through your lifted leg. You're welcome to use your hands to support you, or maybe take one or both hands away. And notice that here, I actually put my chest on the chair, so that even if I take my hands away, my torso is still supported. Use your hands to help you come back upright. Step your right foot underneath you. Take your feet hip distance apart. And what we're going to do here is put the weight over in your right leg. And lift your left leg out to the side slightly. Nice. Step your left foot down, lean over to the left, and lift your right leg slightly. Continue to move on in this way. Lean to the right, left foot lifts. Replace, lean to the left, right foot lifts. Great job. Continue on like this, or for a modified version of half moon, step over to the left side of your chair. Use your right hand to support you on the back of your chair, left hand to hip. You're going to take your right toes and pivot them to face towards the chair. And then lean the weight onto your right leg. Your left foot floats up. Your left foot might only float up a little bit as it did the first few times you practiced, or you might start to lift your leg a little higher, pitching your torso over. You can use the back of your chair, or you might find your hand comfortably reaches down to the seat of your chair. Left hand can stay on your hip for support, or last step, left arm goes up. On an exhale, reverse back down carefully. If you'd like to practice that modified half moon, walk around to the other side of your chair, or you can, of course, continue to practice from behind, taking that smaller lean to the side if that's what's comfortable for you. From the right side of your chair, left hand starts in the back, right hand to hip. You're going to pivot your left toes to face towards the chair. So you want your knee, your big toe facing directly in towards the seat. Put the weight in your left leg, lift your right leg out. Your foot might only float a little bit off the ground, or you might continue to lean, lifting your leg more toward parallel. From here, you can keep your hand on the back of your chair, or you might find that your hand comes right down to the seat for support. Last step, if you'd like, right arm goes up. Inhale. Exhale, release back out. Come upright. Everybody step to behind your chair, or you can have a seat again. We'll be practicing warrior two. Whether you're seated or standing behind your chair, take your feet out as wide as you can. Remember, you want your feet to still be able to support you, so if you find your feet sliding away from you, bring them in just a little bit closer. Turn your right toes out and bend your right knee. Warrior two. If you're sitting down, it's exactly the same process. Turn your right toes out, bend your right knee. Stack your shoulders right in line over your hips. You can keep your hands on the chair or extend your arms out. Full breath in. Stay here as you exhale. And then straighten your front leg. Pivot right toes in. Pivot left toes out. Bend your left knee. Warrior two. Hands can stay on the chair, or you can take arms out to shoulder height. Bend and widen your left knee and tuck your tailbone forward. Stack shoulders right over hips. Inhale here. Exhale and stay. Then straighten your left leg. Turn left toes in. One more time on each side. Right toes turn out. Bend your right knee. Warrior two. You can keep hands down for support or take arms out to shoulder height. Big breath in. Long breath out. If arms are out this round, try to keep your arms as you switch sides. Straighten your front leg. Right toes turn in. Left toes turn out. Bend your left knee. Warrior two. Squeeze your glutes together behind you and notice how that creates a little more stretch in your inner thigh. Lift chest. Straighten your left leg. Left toes turn forward. And whether you're standing or seated, take a wide leg forward fold. So from your seated position, walking your hands forward as we've done several times. From your standing position, you might need to create a little more space between you and the chair. Little bend in the knees. Press your hips back, bring chest down. You can pause here, or you might begin to walk your hands down your chair, maybe even all the way to the ground if it's accessible for you. Remember, bending the knees can be incredibly beneficial here for every single person. Roll yourself back upright. Watch out for your head. Big breath in. Walk your feet together on your exhale. Go ahead and everybody find your way back to your seat. And line up your feet underneath your knees. Back to that neutral stance we've been in for most of class. We'll have a little bit of cool down here. If you have your own yoga practice, as I know many of you do, this is your opportunity to kind of insert your own moves into the practice. We'll also do a little bit of stretch for fingers, toes, and neck. So this is a great opportunity if you felt like some of the other moves maybe weren't for you to tune back in and get some of those really small knuckles and toes, kind of doing some good stuff for today. We're going to start with your feet. So start by bringing your feet in a little closer. Towards the beginning of class, we did this lift up to the balls of your feet. Now what we're going to do is lift up to the balls of your feet, but only on one foot at a time. So lift up your right heel all the way to the ball of your foot, and then see if you can lift up and point your tippy toe down. So little to no weight on your toe. Nice. If you'd like, you can crunch your toe over, and this might be a good feeling for some of you. It might be a feeling that is not good for you. If it's a feeling that's not good, please skip this move. Don't crunch your toe over. And then come back up to that tippy toe, little to no weight, back to the ball of your foot, and release your heel back down. We'll continue on the left leg. So lift up your left heel, lifting all the way up to the ball of your foot. And then maybe lifting up even higher to your tippy toe, little to no weight on your toe. Use your right foot pressing down to support you. If it feels okay, roll over your toe and you kind of crunch your toe down onto the ground. If that's too much pain in the front of your foot, please skip that move. Lift back up, little to no weight on your tippy toe, and heel releases back down to the ground. We'll try with both legs together. Lifting up to the balls of your feet, heels lift high, and then lift up to those tippy toes, little to no weight. If you would like, and only if you would like, you can crunch your toes over, come back up, balls of your feet, and heels drop down. Take both legs out to that slight extension. So Don't straighten your legs quite all the way. You want to be able to have a little bend in the knees and flex your toes up towards you. Press your feet down firmly so your heels anchor down, your seat feels like it's sliding back. From here, open and close from the hip. Yeah, so knees, hips, ankles, all moving together. Great. Come back to neutral, so toes upright. Keep drawing toes back towards you. Hinge from the hip crease slightly. You can use your hands for support, or you might reach with both hands towards your toes. Keep flexing those feet, strong ankles. Inhale, upright. Walk your feet underneath you. Bring your feet back in a little closer. Lift up your heels. Big breath in, squeezing your calves. Exhale, release down. Take your right arm, extend it out in front of you. Start by opening up your hand as wide as you can. Imagine palming a basketball. And then close your fingers off and turn your knuckles down toward the ground. Again, opening your hand up, draw fingers back. And then make a fist, closing off. Point your knuckles straight down. One more time, opening up, fingers draw back. And then make a fist, point your knuckles straight down. Release that arm out. And move on to the left arm. Extend your hand in front of you, about shoulder height. Draw your fingers back and spread your fingers wide like you're palming a basketball. Spread your fingers as wide as you can. And then make a tight fist, crunch in, point your knuckles down. You should feel this now in the front and top of your arm. Again, opening your fingers up, drawing fingers back towards you, stop hands. Then make your fist, point your knuckles down. One more time, open up, fingers spread. Make your fist, point your knuckle down. Release your left arm down. Take palms to heart center. Interlace your fingers to the webbing. Flip your palms away from you and straighten your arms forward. We did this at the beginning of class, but we're gonna revisit. You can keep here, or you might start to lift your arms up overhead. Maybe feeling a little increased range of motion in your shoulders and arms. Press up through the heels of your hands. Take an inhale. On your exhale, make cactus arms. Inhale here. Exhale, arms down. Right hand to your hip. Left arm up by your ear. Take a big breath in. And on your exhale, tilt over slightly. Keep your left arm extending, and you might notice that your left shoulder wanted to come forward. Keep opening your left shoulder towards the back of your chair. Nice and upright. Beautiful, up through center. Left hand down to your hip. Right arm up. Inhale. Exhale, tilt over, crescent pose. Press through both feet and move your top shoulder back, opening up through your chest. Inhale, upright. Exhale, right hand to hip. We're gonna move on to a few stretches for the neck. As always, especially when it comes to your neck and spine, you wanna really honor your body and where you're at today. You don't wanna push past the point of pain, but you wanna really respond to those cues and be kind with yourself. Make sure your feet are down on the ground, supporting you comfortably. And then start by just turning your gaze to the right, through the center, and to the left. Through the center. To the right, through center, and to the left. One more round to right and left. And then bring your hand to your right cheek, right hand to right cheek. Simply let your head fall over, supporting. Left shoulder drops down and away, big opening through the left side of your neck. If this feels okay and you'd like a little more, take your right hand, place it over by your opposite ear. Just draw your elbow down, adding a little bit of gentle pressure. Again, being kind to yourself. Just feeling what you feel today, noticing where you're at and responding without judgment. Right hand supports from underneath. Bring your head back up through center. Left hand to your cheek, letting your head fall over towards your left shoulder. You might want to keep your hand here for support, or you might find as your right shoulder drops away that you want a little more stretch here. If that's the case, take your hand on to the other side of your head near your right ear and just draw your elbow down, adding a little bit of gentle pressure. Use your hand to support you coming back up through center, and then take your chin, drop towards your chest. You might stay here just looking down, or if you want a little more stretch here, interlace your hands behind your head, not your neck. Draw elbows down together, adding a little bit of pressure, a slight rounding to your upper spine only. Release your hands. Bring your chin back upright. We'll settle in here for a brief meditation and our final rest, our Shavasana, before the end of class. Again, if there's any final movements you'd like to take here, certainly feel free to take this opportunity for those instead. So for meditation, find your way to a more comfortable seat. You can use the back of your chair for support, or there might even be somewhere else in your apartment that you want to lay down. Find that comfortable seat. Make sure your feet can still reach the ground, or that you can lift the ground up to your feet with a prop. Have a little bit of activation in your spine. Close your eyes. And starting to release any last tension. Relax your face, your jaw, the space behind your eyes. Relax your tongue away from the roof of your mouth. And just start to notice your breath here for a few moments. If you find your mind tends to easily wander, you might count silently to yourself the length of your inhale and exhale. Over time, make your full inhalation and complete exhalation take the same number of counts. You might also say silently to yourself, I am inhaling as you breathe in, and I am exhaling as you breathe out. At the end of your next exhale, start to allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. Settle in for a few moments of your final rest, Shavasana. Allow your breath to breathe itself. Maybe let your feet go wider. Rest your arms comfortably. Allowing yourself that peace and relaxation. begin to deepen your breath. Take gentle movements to fingers and toes. If you'd like, you might send your arms up overhead. Take one final stretch. And then come a little farther forward in your seat once more, sitting up tall, shoulders over hips. Bring palms together at heart center. We'll close with the sound Om one time. As always, you're welcome to sing along or listen. Release your air. Full breath in. Thumbs to forehead center. With gratitude for this practice, namaste. Thank you all so much for joining in and sharing your practice this week. I truly appreciate all of you. And as always, if you have feedback or anything, please reach out to me or to Community Life. We'd love to hear from you. And thank you all so much. Have a great, happy, and safe rest of your day. And I hope to see you soon. Thanks.